For the record. For the record. For the record. For the record.
All right.
Boom.
Okay, guys. What is that? Buzzer? Okay, guys, we're sorry we're late. It's Tino's fault this time.
This one is
Completely.
me. This one is me.
Completely. When I was driving on the freeway, that's all I heard.
My bad.
Yeah. Better than.
The ditty.
So, guys, every single Tuesday, for those of you that don't know, we come on here, and this is my only chance to come on here and just talk about things, world events, things that are happening around the world, just things like that. Things I don't share in the pulpit, things I don't share because I believe that the pulpit is for Jesus, and that's it. But you know, we're just regular guys here, and we just like to talk about just different things that are happening in the world, whether it's politics or war or whatever is happening, you know. And
That'd be a fact.
so this is what we do here on Tuesday. Let's just talk. Nobody here is a journalist. We're not expert analysts. We're just three guys that just get together on Tuesday and talk, and that's about it. So, man, he didn't put it back on the YouTube. So anyways, another thing I want to say too is that before Angel talks about the topics that we're going to talk about, every single super chat helps us pay the internet bill. And when you do a super chat, I don't care if it's 99 cents or
Hold
whatever.
on. I don't want to stop you, but I have to stop you
Why?
because you said super chat.
I know, I'm going to explain. Every time they give a super chat, I don't hear super chat.
Okay.
I hear super chat.
I just want to make sure we're clear. This is
Yeah.
vital. This is vital to the programming. We can continue now on as scheduled.
Yeah. So, with that being said, every time there's a super chat, which is super cat, I'm gonna give you a super cat, and that helps us, and it keeps it fun. It keeps it fun. It keeps it fun. And anyways,
Cat got your tongue?
yeah, right. So, real quick, I'm gonna switch it to Tino because I got to do something on the screen over there. Tino, entertain him, man.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today, man? You know, today is a wonderful day, and today we are just extremely late, man. My bad. Life is life, and it's ticking. In the famous words of Joe Dirt, life's a garden. Dig it. And so you just need to realize what's happening, man. So back to David.
All right. So before Angel does the topics, I do want to give shout out to whoever's in there. Who can read? Can you read them?
Empty Tomb, what's happening? Jose Chicano,
Boom.
thanks for that
Thank
super
you.
cat right there, man. We appreciate that.
I'll give it to him right now.
Let's see what you're about to be
Bam!
getting.
He gets the cowboy cat.
No.
man.
All right. Thank you so much.
Derek Mallory, what's going on? Tapping in from the Twin Cities. Lisa, Sister Lisa, how you doing today? We want to say thank you for being here. I already said what's up to.
Empty Tomb. Thank you, Empty Tomb.
Oh,
we
thank you.
fee funds.
Bam! There's for Jose Chicano. He gets the Moses cat with the 10 commandments.
New World 26.
Meow.
What's up, man? Thanks for tapping in. Feed him at Tube. What's cracking?
Sunset Free, is that?
Yes, that's
Okay,
your
we gotta
boy
make
right
legit
there.
right here. Hold on.
Fernando Dominguez, what up, fam?
Carl!
All right, now it's official. Okay,
Oficial.
so Angel, what topics are we going to be talking about today, man?
Well, first we are going to hit in first topic in about a legend in the industry of entertainment that has been around for a very, very long time. And we're definitely going to talk about good old Chuck. We're also going to talk about Japan asking Trump about his secrecy. You know, why?
Oh, wait, I forgot there's some shout outs on Facebook. Milton Gonzalez, Danny Estrada. All right. Anyways.
And, you know, why didn't we just Twitter about it before we went in and did what we did?
Yeah.
You know, it makes sense. Dolores Huerta accuses Cesar Chavez.
Heavy accusations.
Yep.
Crazy.
And why is the Strait of Hormuz so important? We're also going to talk about why don't Muslims condemn Muslim terrorists? Interesting. You know?
Good subject.
Yeah. It's like, why, if you know if you claim for them to be wrong, say something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just out of pocket. Man, but Jamal's robe and him pinky floating on his femininity.
Yeah.
And we want to talk about that too.
Okay.
We want to talk about that. Talk about that.
Jorge Luis Torres Iniguez, hello from Fremont.
What's up, bro?
He's at the Tesla. You're supposed to be working?
I-
He's supposed to be working.
Tapped in.
Okay. Sunset Free, New World 26.
Hold on, Jorge.
All right.
Oh,
What? Jorge Luis Torres
Oh.
Iniguez,
hold on. Sorry, Jorge. Okay. See, I
All
got
right.
my own buzzer.
Angel has his own special effects. I'm still working on the Kool-Aid Man saying, oh, yeah. So that's something that's interesting. Anyways, guys, let's we're going to dive right into Chuck Norris passing
Yeah.
away. That is the second big, because obviously Robert Duvall.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now Chuck Norris, 86 years old.
Yes.
86 years old. He went to the hospital and he passed away. His family's very private. Carlos Arroyo, what's up? I see you on Facebook. God bless you. So Chuck Norris, man,
Do we know yet what he passed from?
I don't. But while he's looking it up, I do want to talk about my first time knowing who Chuck Norris was, and I think that's probably for a lot of you, is the movie with Bruce Lee.
Yep.
Game of death, baby.
Yeah, he fought Chuck Norris in the Coliseum, the Roman Coliseum.
Oh, no, that's it.
And that was my first time I knew who Chuck Norris was. And then after that, years later, I seen him on the Walker. He was a
Texas
Texas Walker.
yeah. I'll be honest,
Ranger.
Texas Ranger.
never really got into the show. But I mean, obviously it's Chuck Norris, so I knew about the show.
They have chosen to keep the exact cause of death private.
I wonder why. Well, that's
Chuck Norris, bro. Chuck Norris. We'll
Angel?
get into that. We'll get into that.
First time you heard of Chuck Norris?
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, because of you and Ruben,
Yeah.
you know, especially because just being big Bruce Lee fans, you know, growing up, and but that was the first time I'd known of him. Then afterwards, you know, watched his movies growing up as a kid, and yeah, I did. I never got into the Texas Ranger.
Dragon.
I did watch parts and
I've
pieces of
probably
it.
seen pieces. Did Dad watch it? Maybe if it was on.
Yeah,
But either way.
he was more old school in his
Yeah.
cowboy watching movies.
Yeah, he liked the older stuff.
Yeah, he didn't really like the newer stuff, even though now that's
Empty Tomb. If you can get me the breaking through the wall, I will be in my servitude to you. Okay.
Big word. But yeah, no, just growing up. I mean, he's just an icon. You know, it really, as far as just who he was as a person, was huge. As far as just
He really was
as
a black
kid.
belt. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, he
Right?
was about that life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you not being around Bruce? That was Bruce's whole thing. He wanted to bring it to America and do what he did. You know what I mean? I mean, Kareem was one of his best students. You know, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
One of Chuck Norris's?
No, one of Bruce Lee's.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would have to say same way. Bruce Lee is how I first saw Chuck. But my dad was a big in the 80s. In the 80s, my dad was a big fan of Charles Bronson and of Chuck Norris. And so, like Delta Force, those were big movies for us in our house. He has a lot of movies, man. I don't know about Chuck Norris fans out here, but
I forgot about Delta Force. Yeah.
Yeah, Delta Force. He had multiple of those. He had Missing in Actions.
Yep.
He had Firewalker.
Oh, that's right.
He had Firewalker. He had Logan's War. He had Sidekicks. If you were into the karate stuff, 92. Figure me and you were 92. Yeah. We were what, about 13, 12, 13.
That was the whole
old.
him and Van Damme and
Feed him at Tube. How you doing? EQ is not the way. How you doing? Thank you for jumping in.
He's done quite a bit of some things, man. But I know for like myself, the big thing for us in our junior high days was the Chuck Norris jokes. If anybody got some Chuck Norris jokes.
You got some?
Yeah, I got a couple ready, loaded.
Real quick before he does it, guys, any super chats is a super cat to us, and you will get a super cat. Look, boom, 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 boom. Something like that.
Uh-oh.
Something like that.
it's just random, bro. You don't even know. We're just going to hit you with it.
Yeah, it's our way of saying thank you, and it is an honor to get a super cat.
Yeah. It's a high kick.
Yeah. Anyways,
it's a high kick.
You got some.
If anybody got some Chuck Norris jokes, and if you know, I just found out Angel has never heard of the Chuck Norris jokes, and for me and David, those things are classic, man.
Oh, they're funny.
It says when Chuck Norris slices onions, the onions cry. It says when the boogeyman goes to sleep, he checks in his closet for Chuck Norris. It says time waits for no man. Unless that man is Chuck Norris. It says that Chuck Norris can divide by 0. It says right here, Death once had a Chuck Norris experience. It says, when Chuck Norris was in middle school, his English teacher assigned an essay. It was about what is courage. He received an A+ for turning in a blank page with only his name on the top. Chuck Norris can kill 2 stones with 1 bird. There is no chin behind Chuck Norris's beard. There's only another fist. Last one, man. Chuck Norris can slam a revolving door. I mean, man, the list goes on, man. The list goes on. Chuck Norris, bro, you were an idol. I don't know. Do you guys know if he was a follower?
I don't know.
I've heard.
I'm not sure.
I don't know, but I have heard different stuff.
Yeah.
About his walk with, whether there was a walk with the Lord or not. I'm not sure.
But either way, all jokes aside, I mean, a lot as the years go by, a lot of these actors that we grew up with are passing away, and like I said, Robert Duvall and now Chuck Norris, and just prayers for their family.
Yeah.
I mean, like I heard somebody say that I think it was his son. He said, to you guys, he's a movie star, whatever. To us, he's dad, he's grandpa. And so
that's good.
Yeah, condolences he was very much a family man. And had his family surrounding him and around him. So I think that, for me, that speaks louder than any of his movies. Is the fact that he was a father and a husband and a grandfather, and So I mean, God blessed him with 86 years of life.
Mm-hmm.
And even more so with family. So.
I never heard of any controversy.
No,
at least not that I mean, maybe I know social media wasn't around in his heyday.
Yeah.
But I never heard anything crazy.
Chuck Norris was a devout Protestant Christian who spoke openly about his relationship with Jesus Christ throughout his career, a member of the Prestonwood Baptist Church in Dallas. He credited his faith as a foundation for his life, marriage, and success.
Amen.
So I
And
mean,
that matches because I don't remember him doing movies where things were raunchy and he's cussing and this and that. It was no.
You didn't really see a lot of nudity or any of that kind of stuff in his movies.
Every movie he would just beat somebody up.
Yeah, he was Chuck Norris, bro. Chuck Norris, bro. You're an icon, bro. Like for real.
He was just being biblical. He was laying hands.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was about it.
Somebody mentioned it in the comments, but they were saying about how he was also the creator of Total Gym. He killed the game with Total Gym. Remember?
I heard that.
That's the thing that it's like a bench, and then it has like cables, and you can go up.
That's right. I used to see the infomercial.
I want to say it was him and Christy Brinkley.
I think you're right.
Yeah, so
I think you're the infomercial days.
He killed the game with that Total Gym. He it's like you said. Don't know anything. Nobody's coming out. Maybe, we're going to be going into this next story. So this is where I'm saying, but maybe, 80 years from now, somebody will say something bad about Chuck Norris. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But I will say this about these people who were superstars back then. I've heard people, rock stars say it, that they're very grateful that there was no social media in their day of time. Because of whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. But
Tomas said I heard he was very conservative. He was. Actually, I do know that about him. So, but yeah, man, condolences to his family.
Condolences, yes. 86 years. Long
but we
time.
got 6 subjects we're going to talk about.
Yeah. No, that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, just real quick. It's funny because I was talking to Ruben on Saturday.
Yeah.
Was it Sunday? And he was we were talking about Chuck Norris before we changed the subject. And he's probably watching right now. And he goes, there's just something that bothers me. And I said, what is that? He said, that Chuck Norris always took credit for teaching, that he always says that he taught Bruce Lee his high kicks.
Oh, really?
But
his kicks were low in the movie.
Whose?
Weren't they? Chuck Norris's.
I don't know. I'm just telling you a conversation that I was having with Ruben, and he was like, that always bothered me.
Yeah,
that Chuck Norris always took credit for teaching Bruce Lee whether and I don't know if that was true or not, but it was funny, and we were laughing just because me as a kid remembering Bruce Lee, and it's I don't think you can have a conversation about Chuck Norris and not talk about Bruce Lee.
Yeah, you can't.
If you're gonna have that type of a conversation. Especially in the art, because Chuck Norris was number one in tournaments.
Yeah,
he was world champion.
Yeah,
and Bruce Lee was a different style.
Yeah,
it was a whole different.
He was his style.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bruce was his style.
Exactly, it was different. It was totally different. And so, but we were laughing just because I grew up watching Bruce Lee doing high kicks.
Hey, Bread of Life, what's up?
So we were just kind of we just had a moment we were talking about Chuck Norris and just I don't know if that was true. Maybe it was true. It could have been true. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought Chuck Norris was awesome. I'm a Bruce Lee fan.
Absolutely.
My only thing, and again, the man is gone, but he said that in real life he would have beat Bruce Lee. I don't know. But whatever. I'm not gonna, go into that. Right now we're giving condolences and all that, but
the only question that I have that I think is valid, it's not about Chuck Norris or anyone else, but if honestly, Bruce Lee against Brad Pitt, who would win?
What?
What are you talking about?
Are you talking about the movie?
You talking about Fight Club?
No, that one movie where I refuse to watch that movie.
I watched it. You
did?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to see that part.
They did some movie backstage in Hollywood because there's stories that some actor
it's a hodgepodge of different, somewhat real stories made into one movie.
Supposedly Bruce Lee got beat up behind, and behind the scenes,
and the character that portrayed it was Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
So in this scene, Brad Pitt beats up Bruce Lee, and so yeah. But
okay,
yeah. I got some for that right here. Hold on.
Where we're going next?
Here it goes. Wait.
Look at the 2 little sissies.
Look at the 2 little sissies. Okay.
Where
Ross Presta, how you doing, brother? Thank you for jumping in.
Let's talk about Pinky.
Oh man.
Let's talk about Pinky.
So once again, so-called Pastor Jamal. what's
Oh
his name?
man.
Jamal Bryant.
Jamal Bryant. Once again, it's something very weird.
Is it though for him? I mean, I get it. Weird to us.
Yeah. So he was at a women's event, and every year, I think, could be wrong. Every year they present a Woman of the Year, and, and they called Jamal up because they wanted to anoint him with a robe with supposedly the prayers of all the women with the feminine anointing. And they put it over him and he received it. Yeah. So, I mean, where in the Bible does it talk about the feminine spirit of God? And the fact that he received it when it should have gone to a woman, because it's a women's event, and every year they present it to a woman that is worthy of maybe acknowledgement. And he gets acknowledged, and they put this really pretty robe on him that has the anointing of the feminine spirit.
I mean, it's a really pretty robe for a guy who thinks about Cam Newton having really pretty legs.
Oh man.
Oh, man.
That's the sound effect I need, actually, from Adam. If you can get that from Jamal, also, besides the Kool-Aid Man, is Pinky saying, "You got pretty legs." Oh, man. So, Empty Tomb. We're talking about Jamal Pinky Bryant. Is that his name? He's the preacher.
No, his real name is Pinky.
No,
It's Pinky Bryant.
That's what we call him.
Jamal Harris Bryant.
Yeah, he's that mega church in Atlanta, Georgia, and he's always controversial with everything except his messages. And but basically, when they presented it to him, a prophetess
Oh, here we go.
presented it to him and said that he is an example of what pastors should be,
Yes.
as they gave him this robe of the feminine spirit of God. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever.
You know, now
I got nothing.
I feel really bad. I feel really bad that we went from Chuck Norris to him. Now,
I mean, we went from an icon.
Yeah, maybe it's a palette.
An icon to the opposite of one?
Yeah,
I was trying to play something together, but it would have had to use foul language, and I don't do that. So it's just that dude is lightweight. No.
He's light of foot.
He's a full-on fool. He's a full-on fool. You are what the word talks about, that your judgment is worse.
Yeah, it's just my issue is this, right? Is that, dude, you can do what you want, you can wear all the feminine robes you want, whatever. But my thing is this: is you are mocking God to the world.
Yeah, that's my point.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Is you are causing people to mock God, and because of that, you're walking on dangerous ground. Because God will not be mocked. Actually, that is scripture. You know what I mean? And when you do things like that, how do you think that looks outside of the church? Oh, Mary Kay Gerber, thank you. I see you on Facebook. Marcelo Vargas, thank you so much, brother. Sorry. We have a whole other screen showing our Facebook
He's on
comments.
YouTube as well.
Oh, he's on here too now?
Ross Fresta.
Yeah, Ross Fresta. Ross Fresta, we're talking about a pastor out of Atlanta, Georgia. He's a mega church pastor, and he's always doing something really strange. There's a video of him saying that he felt gay for a day. There's another video where you didn't see that one? I did. There's another one where he was interviewing another man, and he told that man, because the man had shorts on. The man was a NFL player?
Yeah, retired.
Told him he had pretty legs. And now he was at a women's conference, and the women presented him with a robe that was anointed with God's feminine spirit. So this guy's constantly doing things that are antichrist. And because of that, we just bring it to light, you know. Endless capabilities. Thank you so much for that
Thank
super
you, brother.
chat. Because of that, guess what you get? Evangelist cat.
Ooh,
Look at
blessed
that.
you are.
Look at that cat. He's in the downtown of some city, and he's just giving the word. All right. Thank you.
I don't even know what to say.
I
dude.
got nothing, bro. I've been trying to think of something, dude. Like I can't even count on him. It's just the dude is. You know, the first thing. This is what. Okay, so this is what comes to mind. So people like to argue. Okay, that's a given. Okay, I'm one of those people, by the way. But the thing about it is if we're arguing about pastors, right, and we're saying something you said or whatever it may be, people can counteract with Jamal Bryant. You get what I'm saying? Like Jamal Bryant, he is a pastor, and he makes sure you know he's a pastor.
Well, that's what he calls himself.
Right, exactly. And I get it. And I fully agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, as being pastors, you guys are in that conversation. Just like if they're talking trash about Christians, all of us are in that conversation.
Yeah, okay, I see what you mean.
You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Where I'm nothing like those type of Christians. I want to follow Christ at the best that I can. You guys are involved. That's the first thing that I'm thinking, like, dang, man, that's crazy. That dude is a moron, dude.
There's no reverence. There's no reverence
Yeah.
for what is holy. There's no reverence, and he's just making a mockery. He's taking, and the thing is, this last video, actually, we didn't even talk about the last video a week or two ago, where he just like, you know what, the Lord is saying that somebody here, there's 10 people here that have $20,000.
Oh, yes.
You saw that one?
Yeah, I did.
And he goes, and there's some of you that God is telling you give 10,000, and if you don't have it, then go get a loan.
Yeah.
He goes, because you'll go get a loan to buy Louis Vuitton, you get a loan for this and that. We'll get a loan to pay God.
Wow. It almost sounds like somebody would have made a parody about pastors like that.
Yeah. And
But I don't know.
so
big old dude.
So here's my thing, right? Because we want to bring this biblical, okay?
Absolutely.
Where in the Bible does it say that God wants us to be in debt? He says you will be the lender and not the borrower, right? But here he is saying, give 20,000, give 10,000. Go put yourself in debt to pay me 20,000 or 10,000. That's insane to me. That is the opposite of what the Word of God says. God wants you to be financially free. He doesn't want you to be enchained to be in debt. But this guy's telling people to go. That's crazy. It is a mockery of God, man.
It is.
It is. The empty tomb says that's straight witchcraft. It's
And that's
right.
where it's going to fall in about, this is what you've chose. And it's obviously all money. It's all for the show. It's just, but hey, man, you know what, man? It's one of those ones where it's like, ugh, I feel bad for you on that day.
Like sometimes I try to put myself in people's heads and just try to process. Like, how could I take that? How could I, in my mind, what would it take for me to justify that?
Justify what?
Whatever, like just different people.
Getting a
dude.
robe?
Just
A feminine spirit of God robe?
people's reactions, how people respond, how people do, and it's like sometimes I'll just sit there. No, and I'm in my head. I'm just like, okay, what would it take? Where would I feel? Where do I think I would need to be internally to be at that place? And there's just some places, man, I just can't fathom.
My thing, like in all seriousness, does he really believe his words? Is he that twisted in his theology? Or
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Or does he know what he's doing and cashing in to whatever he can? It's like a cash grab. It's one or the other. Does he really believe this false theology that he preaches? Or is he making a fool of everyone and laughing all the way to the bank?
I think he knows what he's doing.
I think so too.
I if we go back to sinful days, we could justify it a million ways to sundown.
Yeah.
But ultimately, when it was said and done, if you got arrested or you got whatever happened, you got caught, you knew why you got caught.
Yeah, because to everybody else, I was selling dope because to me, I'm selling dope because my kids need food. My kids need this. My kids need that. But when I got arrested, I knew I couldn't say that to the judge.
Yeah.
I knew because I knew. You know what I mean? So it's
It's not like the FBI was going to be like, man, dude, I didn't even think of that. I didn't think that you were selling drugs because you wanted to feed your kids. Man, you know what? That's pretty novel.
Yeah, Empty Tomb says, where'd they get the robe from? Second Punkalonians?
But that's what I'm saying. It's just it just sometimes there's where people would take places sometimes, and it's just too much. And
Greed. He says greed.
Yeah, I don't understand. But the same way, like for me, if I hear somebody say Reverend Al Sharpton,
Oh,
like I can't say that. I can't say that in good conscience. I can't call him Reverend.
no.
I can't say that in good conscience because I know what that term would mean. And I know what that term would mean to everyone else that's hearing me say that. I can't do that.
I have a question, though. His
Agreed.
church continues to fill.
Yeah.
So, do you feel sorry for them?
No.
Or are they falling into what it is they want to believe? The Bible says, 2 Timothy, they will follow after teachers with itching ears.
I'm one to say that the devil blesses just as well. It's just evilness. You know what I mean? It's blessings of the world.
Yeah.
And so these people are showing up for blessings. It becomes about the blessings. It becomes about their righteousness. It becomes about them jumping around. It becomes about their hoorah.
Yeah.
It becomes all about them. So they are in a congregation of self. And
that's good.
he is God up there, and he knows it, and he's playing his role to the key.
Yeah.
And through that, they are blessed. Oh man, I must be the one that needs to give $10,000. We need to make this happen.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna get blessed.
You know how people use the word energy.
Yeah. Enrique Gomez, thank you for being on Facebook, brother.
Energy is a powerful thing in a crowd of people. Energy is a very powerful thing. And it can lead to a lot of unrighteousness. And if it is done right, it can create momentum in a righteous way with people because people bring that. But what you do with it can be very manipulative, extremely, extremely manipulative.
When I see the stuff he does, I see a man that does not fear God.
Mhm.
And if a man does not fear God,
He ain't no man.
why would you follow that man?
Yep.
Why? I think it goes back to a spouse, for instance, right? If you have a spouse that doesn't fear God, then that spouse will do anything behind your back. Because you're not there all the time. You're not there, you don't know the person's heart. So it's like, for me, it's a red flag when somebody doesn't have a healthy fear of God.
Hmm?
This man does not fear God, therefore cannot be trusted.
Yeah, no, I absolutely. You ever met, and we all have people in our I'm going to say this story. It's a general story, but we all have people in our minds. Let's say a couple, and the husband is either abusive or an addict of some sort or fashion, and the wife is always the victim. But there also comes a point in time that you're looking at the scenario, and this person, husband or wife, who is the victim, continually gives way to them being victimized.
Yeah.
And at some point, it's like, dude, I can't feel sorry for you.
Yeah. And
I feel bad.
I'm glad you're saying that because this is going to go into the Dolores Huerta thing.
Mhm.
So, our poetic, he says, God reigns on the just and unjust, as Paul said, that as long as the gospel's preached, it's true.
Yeah.
There's people that are going to, there's congregations that are going to get to heaven when the pastor is going to go straight to hell.
Yeah. And I've always, that scripture, I've always heard it two different ways. And I don't know. I've never done a Greek deep dive on that word. You know what it says? For they will heap to themselves pastors having itching ears.
Yeah.
Whose ears are itching? Is it the pastor's ears to the people or the people's ears to the
I
pastor?
always took it there was the
Or
people's.
both.
Yeah. It's got to be both.
To me, I always took it as both.
Yeah, but I always took it more that the congregation, because people are going to find the preaching that they want to hear.
Mhm.
So.
But then the only way the pastor, that individual who is I don't want to say ministering, but speaking their words, is by receiving the accolades of the ones in which they're standing in front of.
Yeah.
So to me, I've always heard it as that when I hear that scripture, I've always thought it was both. it was the pastor's ears who was itching, burning to wanting to hear the accolades of people, and the people enjoying what they're hearing to prop up their God, in their own ideology.
Empty Tomb says, has anyone heard what he teaches when it comes to basic theology outside of cash for blessings, of course?
I was going to talk about that.
Yeah, everything I've heard from him is always out of context. He will take scripture and pervert it and twist it. Everything I have seen him do, even sermons that I've heard him say, or portions where he will take a verse and he'll say it right, but then he always twists it. And I can't help but think of the serpent in the garden that took God's words, but then added a little twist to it. This is this man. This is why he's dangerous. And this is why I don't make a career in YouTube to talk down on other pastors. I don't.
No.
But this guy is just too much.
It's not. I don't think anyone on here, especially on any of this
platform.
Yeah, on this platform, thinks that you're on here talking trash about pastors.
No.
I don't think anybody on here thinks that. And but there's nothing wrong with talking about what he's doing in the manipulation of the word of God. You are using Jesus Christ, the death of him, to fill your pockets.
Yeah.
For the simple, that's it, dude. That's it. You aren't doing anything. You see some mega pastors, you see Billy grow and blow. You saw Chuck Smith do his thing. He grew and blew up. You know what I mean? Makes very good money, whatever it is.
Oh, I didn't quite. At first, it took me to the second story to understand what you were saying by like blow, because I've seen people like minister and like blow on them and minister to them. So I didn't know what you were talking
Benny
about.
Hill, or not Benny Hill.
Benny Hinn.
Benny Hinn, yeah. So you see these people blow and grow, and it's just you see this, but these people are actually getting blessed, and they'll give it all away in the drop of a hat. In the sell the whole thing, give it to the Holy Spirit thing. Yeah. Where this dude is not about any of that life, bro. He is the straight pervert. He's the one when he went into his wilderness, Lucifer went out there with him, and he took everything Lucifer.
Well, you remember what Paul tells Timothy? He said it is men like this that crawl into houses with what's the exact verbiage?
Gullible women.
Yeah. Laden with sins.
Yeah.
And but I guess that's maybe that's the answer.
Yeah.
That's the feminine spirit.
The feminine spirit. So Empty Tomb says, is anyone, oh wait, no, the next one. I'm just wondering if his flock is in danger of something much worse than witchcraft. And then New World 26 says, the only way I could understand this is that pastors using the church setting to wash money outside of government lines illegally. That could be true, because I think a lot of these mega pastors are going to ruin it for churches that are really preaching Christ, because they're taking advantage of the 501c3 because it can't be taxed, and they're gonna use it. And think about it. Don't you? Of course, Satan wants to take that away from the church. What better way than to raise churches up like this to take advantage of it? So that way it. Yeah, I mean, it's in the Constitution, and all that, but I get it. I get.
There is a plan. There's a plan.
Yeah.
Hey, man, just be obedient to the word of God to the best of your ability, and have fun failing. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as God tells you to give it all away, give it away.
Yeah.
Rebuke, because that's the first thing we're going to do is rebuke, and then realize it's not a rebuke. It's, here you go.
Anthony Ramirez, thank you for jumping on. Our Poetic, again, I know I mentioned you earlier, but thank you for coming on, and appreciate you.
Yeah.
So, but speaking of, how did you say earlier where I was going to transition it to Dolores?
As far as the victim?
Yes. So, I don't know where you guys stand on this, guys, and I'm probably going to get a mixed crowd, but hear me out all the way first.
I don't know too much, so I want to hear your guys.
Well, Ceasar Chavez, as you guys probably know who he is. He was United Farm Workers, the main guy.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the 70s, he caused farm workers to strike because the farm workers are not being paid right and treated right. They weren't given lunch breaks. They weren't given water breaks. They weren't given long tools to work with. They were given short because they were cheaper. So they had to bend their back and all, from sun up to sundown every single day. So there's a lot of things that happen. He caused marches to happen and basically unionized farm workers, which is what farm workers needed because they needed somebody to advocate for them. You know, but and because of that, Cesar Chavez left a legacy. There's parks named after him. There's streets named after him. There's murals about him. And his sidekick, which was his sister-in-law, because this woman was married to his brother, or at least had children with his brother, Dolores Huerta, she's been a huge voice. She spoke at his funeral very highly of him. And anyways, throughout all of this time, they have been given grants and money, and she has been able to live off the legacy of not only Cesar Chavez, but her own things that she did, you know?
Yeah, because her name wasn't unknown.
Yeah, her name wasn't unknown, you know? And so all of a sudden now, 30 years after his death, 50 years after the accusations, she claimed that she was raped, you know, and had 2 children by him, and it was by force or whatever, and some other accusations came up. So, again, nobody knows the truth here. None of us know the truth. But I found it very interesting how people within that day were ready to tear down monuments, paint over murals, all this stuff over an accusation. And I want to ask, have you ever been accused of something that wasn't true, and before even hearing you out, you were not believed? That can be really frustrating. I also believe this is that
That's a kind way to say it.
yeah, I also believe this, right? Think about it. I also believe this. Can 2 things be true at the same time? Because here's the thing, right? Let's say it was true. Does that take away from everything that was done for the farm worker?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The life was still made better. Now that doesn't give them a pass.
No.
No, at all. But my thing is this. So why, and again, you got to remember, Sharon's had her testimony. There's things that have been done to her by people that are still out right now. So I would hate for somebody to say, oh, now Sharon comes out with it 30 years later.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. This woman benefited from staying quiet. And all of a sudden now she benefits from not staying quiet. So she benefits both ways, if it were true.
Yeah.
There's an agenda. There's a reason. See, if Sharon all of a sudden decided to share the things that happened and to point the people out that are still out there right now, there's no benefit to her.
Other than pain.
But this woman benefited. She spoke at his funeral, man. You know, so here's another thing that a lot of people don't know is that she had 11 children.
13.
13 children?
Well, 13, including the 2
okay.
that she supposedly had of him.
Now, I've heard this also by people that there's a lot of guys, we're in the Central Valley. So this isn't news that about Cesar Chavez that is in Dakota or Carolina. He was right here, actually marched. Highway 99 is a block away from here. So there are people here in Modesto that knew him, that marched with him. That
A lot of his work was in this.
a lot of his work was here, guys. So
Yep.
I'm not saying this 4th, 5th, 6th generation. It was known that this woman got around. It was known that she was, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't
She
want-
wasn't fuerte in that area.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, man. Her lifestyle, her life choices, the fact that she benefited in the millions by raising up Cesar Chavez all this time, and then speaks at his, then all of a sudden now you might be asking, why now? Why now? Here's why, right? Because the UFW, United Farm Workers, they were getting clashed because all this ICE against ICE, and people were raising up the huelga flag. And I was wondering, because I'm like, why are they raising up the huelga flag? Because Cesar Chavez was against illegal immigration.
We talked about that here
He was against it.
multiple times.
He definitely would have been for ICE.
Yeah, exactly.
He definitely would have been for
So
ICE.
because of his beliefs no longer fits the narrative of the left, what better way than to destroy that man but save the UFW? Because he's dead anyways.
Yep.
So all of a sudden, because what he stood for no longer, because here's the thing about the left, is they keep moving the goalpost.
Yep.
So he was against it, guys. And so for somebody there's a lot of people that say, well, Cesar Chavez was racist. He was racist. No, he wasn't, man. He was about the field worker. You know whose jobs were being taken away because of illegal immigration? Our families.
Americans.
Our families. Our families were from Texas, not Mexico. Our families were from Arizona, not Mexico. Our grandpa followed the crops from Chicago to Texas to Arizona to California. But you know what? When they wanted a strike, they would bring illegal people to take their jobs and break the strike. That was the problem and issue Caesar had. He wasn't racist. He was about trying to help the workers from here. But unfortunately, illegals are coming and taking the jobs. That would be like you being on strike, and then they hire other people to come do your job, and that makes it hard for you. What are they? There's a name for people that do that. I can't remember the name. But anyways,
Yeah.
whether it's true or untrue about it, I don't know. I'll never know. And I won't never know. But I'm just like, man, think about it. At least do some critical thinking about this thing before you destroy somebody's legacy. Hey, man, if he did it, if he did these things, then okay, he got what he deserved. You know what I'm saying? But if he didn't, you gotta think that there's an agenda here that's going on. So I don't. Anyways, I talked for a long time. I'll let you guys talk.
There's so much that we can kick around. We can soccer play this, and the whole thing is this is for me. Even with my children who don't even know really who Cesar Chavez is, right? Even them, I know. Like my 22-year-old, he said, "What really sucks is that he can't even defend himself."
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where I'm gonna leave it right there. There's no point for me to go ahead and continue talking about what I think, because personally, I think it's all. I look at it. My conspiracy is I look at it politically. It is a left thing. It is for votes. It's really tugging on the Mexicans' heartstrings. And because, like you said, he wasn't racist. He was for the Chicano. I think he coined the phrase Chicano, and he was fighting for the people here. When we hear about these Mexicans coming and stealing people's jobs, they were literally doing that, and that's what he was fighting for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so the farm owner was taking cheaper labor, which, I mean, at that time of life, why wouldn't you? Anyways, I'm not getting into all that. So it's just like, for me, he can't defend himself. You said it yourself. Did he do it? Don't know. Do I think she's full of junk? I do. I also, I guess I can say that because she talks about it herself. Mickey has her own testimony. And I had said something from the gate and she snapped and I just left it alone. It irritated me what she was saying, but I know my boundaries with my wife, okay? And so there's certain things I just don't, there's subjects I leave all alone. And when she starts talking about that stuff, I leave it alone. But she was just like, you can't not, it's hard to talk about this stuff. That's why people wait. And I'm thinking like, man, dude, but like you said also, she made a very good lifestyle off of everything. Over in San Diego, there's Chicano Park.
Yeah, I've been there.
Okay.
Yep, been there.
Logan, there's Vadio Logan out there. And the thing about it is they're both up there. They're both up there. And so she obviously did her thing. That's why I'm like, really? Wow. I don't, it is what it is. We all know in the Mexican culture, 25-year-old marrying a 14-year-old is not an uncommon thing. Let's not try to hide that.
Especially back then.
Especially back then.
Especially back
then.
then.
I can't speak of today's life. I haven't heard anything in today's life. But I've heard many stories of my uncles and all of that stuff.
So,
And so the last thing I got to say is don't take away what this man did, what he planted in this America here.
so let me ask, because I skimmed through a couple stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I think what it came out yesterday.
A few
What
days
time?
ago.
What?
About all of this with
Oh, it's
Ceasar
been
Chavez.
like a
Okay,
week.
I noticed. Okay, I hadn't noticed it all week. I noticed it yesterday.
It's been like a week and a half.
Okay, so you brought up something that I have a quick question for clarification because I don't know. Are they making a big deal because she got married young,
No.
or what?
No, because she supposedly, it says right here, as a young mother, I experienced 2 sexual encounters with Ceasar. The first time I was manipulated and pressured into having sex with him. And I didn't feel I could say no because he was someone that I admired. My boss, my leader in the movement, I had already devoted years of what Huerta said in a statement on March 18th. The second time I was forced against my will and in the environment where I felt trapped. And then out of both of those times that this supposedly happened, I guess is the way to, allegedly, there you go.
Yeah.
Allegedly happened. She had children at both those times.
Okay, so that it was a very young relationship, and so people are pushing back because of her youthful, because of the abuse, because of
All of the, yes.
That-
all of the
that
above.
She's saying that she gave children to 2 of his kids.
okay, and she was very young. She was manipulated, whatever.
I don't know. But either way,
But all of that compiles. is
so
what I'm-
here's my thing, right? So now there's other accusations of other people saying they got abused by him while they were teenagers, teenage girls. So again, let's say it's true. So he did that to you, but you kept raising him up so he can do it to other people because it was benefiting you financially.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, what's the difference between her and Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yeah.
Because what's his name? What's his name?
Epstein.
Jeffrey
Epstein couldn't do what he did without that woman because she was bringing women.
Yeah.
So again, if this is
Girls.
true, then you helped in it continuing on and him being an abuser. If it's true,
Yeah. And the reason why I bring that up is 2 things that just popped into my mind as you guys were talking, because I'm not as familiar with the story. I'm just kind of hearing this right now. I just seen the headings of stuff.
Dudley, real quick. I didn't say, my grandfather's from Guanajuato, Mexico. My father is from Arizona. Our father's from Arizona. And our grandfather is from Texas on my mom's side.
But they're both from Guanajuato.
Yeah. So
Originally, both
my
our
grandfather
grandfathers.
on my mom's side is born in Texas. He was born, actually, I did a prison video where I showed Martindale where our grandfather was born on my mom's side. My grandfather on my dad's side was from Guanajuato. So my great-grandfather on my mom's side was from Guanajuato.
Yeah. The family lineage goes back to Guanajuato.
Yeah.
On both
so
sides.
So in other words, just to clarify, is that so we are our dad is so we're one generation, our dad, our grandpa. So on my dad's side, we're 3 generations in America.
Okay.
On my mom's side, we're 4th generation American.
Okay.
So just to clarify, that's what it is.
So 2 things that stuck out that I found interesting. One, that if one of the arguments is her
Go ahead.
Go-
No.
is her youthfulness or her youth at that time and that being an abusive situation.
She wasn't a teenager.
But
She was
when
in her 20s.
but in those encounters, it sounded like she was very young.
They were the same age.
Okay, so they were. So it wasn't a matter of youth.
They're the same age,
I
as
thought
far as I know.
it sounded like the story you read originally.
I thought she was younger as well.
Oh, really?
I thought so.
By the
Oh,
story
I
that it
could
was
be
read.
wrong. I could be
okay.
wrong.
If that's the case, I just have one question. Then why are we not? Why do we passively allow the Muslim situation and their continual push towards our youth and our young, as far as marrying young here in the States and making that open claim that it should be okay because that is part of their culture? Why don't I hear that screamed out as loud? Number one. Number two. Why are we not, if we're talking about this and abuse and everything else, why is Martin Luther King not being brought up in the conversation? I just have a question. All right, actually, I'm sorry, I have 2. So those are my 2 questions that just popped into my mind without even bringing the situation. And that doesn't minimize the abuse or the situation. I'm talking culturally and media-wise. Now, to the ladies, and if that's true, that's horrible. I'm sorry. I can't speak to that. I don't know. But again, it does come back to, okay, if that was propping somebody up and all those things, it just brings to question. I remember a particular situation that I knew of in ministry, and the question was, well, I'm a victim. If I'm a victim, I'm a victim.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, how? I know this is going to probably catch flack, and to the ladies that are listening, I don't mean this to be insensitive. But at some point in time, I have to ask, because it would be accountable for a man to say as well, does your age not matter, or does it matter of you playing a victim? If you're older in age and you're saying now, well, this person was abusive, but yet this person was older in age, 20s, 30s, 40s. Does that play or not play a factor in you being allowed to, in you being a victim or be manipulative? I'm just asking a question. I'm not casting aspersions. I'm asking an honest question. Because if somebody tells me, if Monica Lewinsky says I was abused, you're an adult.
Mm-hmm.
You're in an environment of very intense testosterone. That is the environment.
In that situation, I still blame Bill Clinton, because he was a man in authority.
No, I agree.
The highest authority in the world, compared to a young intern who's in her 20s. And now we can say she was an adult, she knew her choices, this and that, but he was in a position of power. You know what I mean?
I fully agree. Here's my only point in that. Does it ever put her at a position of zero?
No.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my only point. And I'm not saying, I'm not trying to lump sum every woman's situation into this.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of women that find themselves in abusive situations that are not benefiting from it. They're not benefiting from financially. They're not benefiting whatever. But at the same time, I've pastored long enough to know that I have seen abusive situations in homes and in marriages where the woman has stayed because even though she is being abused, the benefit is at least my kids have somewhere to live.
Yeah.
At least my kids, and I'm not justifying in any way the abuse or anything, but it's just it's a hard line sometimes to draw down, because there's just so much emotion. There's so much moving parts. So culturally, my two questions has nothing to do with the women or anything like that. My two questions culturally is, if we're going to bring this up, can we not bring to the surface Martin Luther King?
Yeah, Sharon brought up a good point, but I don't think we're talking about this, babe. She says, I was 8. The man was my so-called father. I don't think I put myself in that position. Angel's talking about an adult.
An adult, absolutely.
Not a child. So, for instance, and you brought up Monica Lewinsky, who was in her 20s as an intern. Yeah, of course. When children are abused, they didn't put themselves in that position at all. You know what I mean? Because a child is a child, you know?
Absolutely. And I don't know how many of those conversations I've had across the desk through the years. And so but we weren't talking about children, we're talking about adults. And so again, culturally, my question is, where is the argument against the Muslim community and their openness about being able to marry young children, young girls? That is happening here in the United States and being spoken of openly, or at least that's where they're pushing towards, because in Europe, it's an open thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the second part is, if we're going to bring that up, then let's lay it all on the table and let's bring other leaders, because if they were culpable, they were culpable. And I get it. So let's bring it all to the table. But that's culture. Yeah. I'm just talking media and culture. That's it. Those are my two questions with it. If I upset anybody, everyone's situations are different. To the ladies, I wasn't putting you in the lump sum category.
All I'm saying is this, man. When it came to Bill Cosby, he's still here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Mm-hmm. He had a chance to defend himself. He obviously is guilty.
Yeah.
Okay? Diddy, he's still here. He has a chance to defend himself. He was found guilty. This man has no chance of defending himself. Not saying whatever is going on. That's what I didn't know this though. It says after months of social media feeds full news about wealthy financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, Monage said the allegations against Chavez come promptly before Sexual Awareness Month. Did you know that was a month? Sexual awareness?
No.
I never heard of that either. But it comes promptly before Sexual Assault Awareness Month in April. The allegations have directly affected local politics. On Wednesday, the Phoenix City Council will decide how to handle Chavez's legacy in the city.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's very unfortunate.
I don't know. I just.
My question, I was going to say, my question is this, is where are these supposedly children? And have they taken...
Well, the thing is, they did. So again, let me say this, because even Sister Lisa said, I agree, lie detector test.
Yeah.
DNA, well, you can't put Ceasar on a lie detector, but maybe Dolores. But the DNA test, here's the thing, okay, if somebody has children by you and later on proves it, does that mean you were raped?
Yeah.
Again, the guy's dead.
I don't know. I heard some guy earlier today say about if this is the man that supposedly allegedly raped you, why would you want to marry his brother and then be part of that family again?
Yeah, she had 2 kids with his brother. Again, I heard 11 children she had.
Yeah, 11. Yeah.
She gave most of them away.
3 marriages.
Yeah, many people. Even one of the brothers here at the church, his grandpa marched with them and thought it was. He says years ago he remembers stories that that woman, man, she slept with everybody. This is from somebody here in Modesto.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this was known. This ain't the only person. There's other people that have said that. And again,
And even if let's say that that's true in her lifestyle.
Yeah.
Does that take away of what she did?
No.
In the movement.
No, she did a lot for the movement.
No. And
so did he.
Exactly. So we're just, let's compartmentalize. It's just the movement we're referring to. We were never referring to anybody as holy people.
I just think it's very convenient now because it serves a purpose for this coming out because the UFW had to separate from Cesar Chavez because Cesar Chavez did not believe in illegal immigration. How interesting that this comes out now.
Yeah.
Why didn't it come out when he was dead? It's like, guys, I'm here at his funeral, but I'm just going to say this. It could have been there. It could have been later. Because after his death, more monuments, more murals, they would go to the signings, they would go to the ribbon cuttings, they would go, and all these grants were coming in to her. But all of a sudden now that the UFW wasn't matching with the left, now they separate. It just, come on, man. It's just.
Years ago, if you read Charles Finney's diary, and he wrote and he stood against slavery. He stood against slavery very open. He was in Rochester, New York, and in his sermons, and he was very, very, very open. But then they would ask him politically, and the politicians from the North would ask him to join their cause in the Underground Railroad and everything else, and he said, "No, that's not." He said, "That's not the message."
Yeah.
And he would very, very openly, and they would catch a lot of flack, and he got his church burnt multiple times and all this stuff from the left and the right. Because he would say this is wrong, but he wouldn't take their political position. Because he would say that that races of men is not the gospel message. Yeah. The kingdom was to all men. And so it just makes me think, as I'm just kind of processing here right now, so many times, because we're talking about Pinky and all this other stuff, so many times that the church will embrace all of this other stuff. Not realizing all the garbage and the filth that comes with it. And so, but the church, I'm going to say we, because that's a whole different church. But sometimes the church will embrace these things and not really, never looking at the bottom of the cup of what's coming with it. And so this is why, as the church, we must be very careful of what we will embrace wholeheartedly and openly. because these are the types of things and stories that we attach ourselves to that we don't know down the road how that will affect.
Yeah. I don't know how it was in SoCal for you growing up. I just thought of something. I think I realized why a lot of the younger people are detached in the sense of my mindset, and they're protesting against ICE. I just realized this right now, so bear with me while I try to make sense of my thought pattern. Here in the Valley, when I was growing up, people were Chicanos, Mexican Americans. It was very rare for there to be somebody that was from Mexico. Parents, yes. But as far as guys in my generation, guys that grew up, they were American. You know what I mean? So it was, so the reason Cesar Chavez was a hero was because he stood for the Mexican American, the Chicano, the American born Chicano that was here. So he was a hero to us because there wasn't a lot of illegal immigrants, at least that I knew. It was just people were here and they were born here, and maybe their parents.
Or if they came, they acclimated quick.
Yeah, they acclimated quick, right? Here, where I think causes the gulf of separation with the generation now, and I could be wrong. The reason you see a lot of young people now is because maybe in the last 10, 15 years, there's a second wave of immigrants, not only from Mexico, Honduras, El Salvador,
They're
all
not
these,
Chicano.
Guatemala. They're not Chicano. So maybe that's where the rift is, where younger people don't understand people like me, and they'll call me a coconut when I'm like, wait a second, we've always been proud Americans. I was a big chicken when I turned 18, but I wanted to be a United States Marine. I wanted to fight for this country, you know, and it's like we were raised that way.
Dad raised us that way.
Yeah. You know, so maybe that's the separation. So it's a second wave of people that came, and now they don't understand why Cesar Chavez was even a hero in the first place. He hated illegal immigrants and this and that, whatever. So maybe I'm onto something. I don't know. What do you guys think?
No, I agree.
Oh yeah, I grew up with all the homies and everything like that. It's all Chicano,
Right?
Yeah. There was a few of them who were first generation Americans.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I moved up here in '96 when all of the homies that I have out here, like in the very beginning, friends that I met, like in Waterford, those homies right there, they're all first generation Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of them, and their families come from Mexico. They came here legally. Some of them came on the program to where you come to work, and then through your work process, you can get your citizenship, and all that kind of stuff. So they all did that stuff, and it is, And then there's still homies that their parents that are still illegal.
Yeah.
Cool.
And because growing up,
But
like you know what you're saying, I can't think of anyone that I grew up with that would say, dude, I'd rather go back to Mexico.
I've never heard that one time in my life, bro.
Never.
You know who I do hear say
Never.
that though? Filipinos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And even them, they're still like, you know what? I go back there for a month to my house, and I'm glad I come back.
It's
here.
too hot. It's too hot. It's too humid.
Yeah, but I never heard that
But
ever
then,
in my
dude,
life.
I was thinking about that right now. I was like, dude, I don't know of anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody. We were American, bro. That was it.
Yeah.
But
how many subjects?
I like the last thing that
Go
this
ahead.
New World 26 said. He said King David raped a woman, and it's like Christians trying to take his name out of the Bible. Crazy how fast the legacy is over. That's a
good.
great point.
That's good. That's a great.
That's a
Actually,
very
King
great
David
point.
did a Bill Clinton
Hmm?
because he was with Bathsheba. She was a grown woman,
Mm-hmm.
but he had a position of power and
She felt
influence.
like, I better do this.
She met, maybe he didn't technically choke her out and this and that.
Yeah.
He didn't have to.
No.
But he still violated her using his authority.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah,
I
That's
get
what
it.
Bill Clinton did.
And I always, if I remember correctly, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I think in the text, it says that afterwards, right, that she took a bath in his location, which
Okay.
always was very, if I remember correctly, correct if I'm wrong, but it always interested me because that to me was the point. If that's true, if I remember that right, I don't know if I read it in a book or I read in the Bible. I don't remember. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I do remember that when I read it, it stuck in my head to go, if she stayed to bathe there, what does that say about her heart being there.
Yeah. Because David's son that molested his half sister, she ran.
That's my point.
She ran.
That's my point.
Because he assaulted her.
Yeah.
She wanted nothing to do with it. She ran.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this time, like you're saying, if I don't recall that, but if you're saying that,
I don't remember. Maybe it was a translation that I read.
yeah, I don't think it says that in a
remember.
verse, but
I don't remember.
I don't know.
remember. Maybe
Okay.
it's just a book. Maybe
I know
it
it's
was in
6
my-
o'clock. Did we even hit all our subjects here?
No, I do got to get going. No.
What subjects do we got? Let's see which one stands out real quick.
We've got 3. We got why don't Muslims condemn Muslim terrorists? Why is the Strait of Hormuz so important? And then Japan asked Trump, man, why didn't you tell me?
Okay, that's a quick one. Let's
Okay.
do that one real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's fine.
So Trump was doing this. He had this talk with the Prime Minister.
Why
of
didn't you
Japan.
tell me?
Prime Minister of Japan. He had a lot of Japanese there, Japanese important people. He had Japanese media there, and basically they tried to front him off in front of the world and said, you know, you attacked Iran. Why did you keep it a secret from us? And Trump came back and said, well, hey, man, you guys are great at keeping secrets because you didn't tell us about Pearl Harbor. And hey, man, whether you like the guy or not, you got to give to him. That was a quick comeback because he says, you guys are the professional secret keepers because you attacked us at Pearl Harbor.
Oh my!
What are you doing?
I wanted that button. That was it.
So, but yeah, that was funny. And here's the thing. The Japanese didn't get angry. They laughed.
Because that's a funny statement.
They had to give it to him. And he ended up having a great time with the Japanese leader and the prime minister. He actually gave her a tour of the White House, showed him all the pictures of the presidents. And when it came to Biden, it was the pen instead of Biden's picture. And she laughed. So here's the thing about Japanese. They believe in honor. And they saw honor in that. And they saw that this man was just straight up, like whatever. And all they can do was respect it.
Dude, because think about how quick you have to be to come up with that.
Not only that, but
And instead of getting defensive, instead of getting angry, instead of getting emotional, but dude, like a comedian, dude,
Yeah.
you've got to be quick-witted.
He said,
here.
while defending a decision not to alert allies about a military strike, he suggested that another nation, Japan, knew surprise better than anyone else, which was interpreted as a sarcastic reference to Pearl Harbor. That's what Google AI search put it.
okay. So that's
But
it.
he was just like, he was on it, bro. And then the one I saw, it shows the woman from Japan,
Yeah.
and she's like, he goes, oh, come on. You guys know about surprise way better than we do.
It's kind of funny, right? Because who is Japan to say about surprises when they're the ones that
that's funny.
killed, 2,000 soldiers in Pearl Harbor, I believe? Over 2,000? What was the other subject? Anything we could hit quick?
Why don't Muslims condemn Muslim terrorists? And why is the Strait of Hormuz so important?
Yeah. Well, that pretty much speaks for itself. Why don't they?
I
Why
don't
don't
know.
they? Because, for instance, Ku Klux Klan was considered themselves Christian, but Christians bashed them because of the hate of Jews and blacks and Hispanics, whatever. So it makes sense, right? If Muslims why don't they speak up against these people that are terrorists? It's an interesting thought. I think it speaks for itself.
I think their silence speaks volumes.
Yeah. I couldn't say it any better. Their silence speaks volumes.
Yeah, I think that says quite a bit, especially to the West and to Christians.
Fernando says Angel's not allowed to have his phone anymore while recording. And the Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah. Why is the Strait of Hormuz so important?
Yeah, we can't really. It would take too long.
I think we need a picture. We would need a picture or video.
Yeah, we need a picture of it. But I will say this: Valuetainment, Patrick Bet-David made a great video on his own about different straits in other parts of the world that are, if not as important, even more important. And some of them are very critical to China. And very critical. So the straits are the oceans where ships have to go. And if that is stopped, it will affect the entire world. So that Strait of Hormuz right there, there's a lot of oil that goes back and forth that if something was damaged,
one of many.
It would cause collapse in many parts of the world, if not the entire world. But there's other straits also
Well,
in the world.
even here locally in our country, look at the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
And how far-reaching that goes, and the impact that would take in
If
transport.
import and export was stopped through there, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much. We do this every single Tuesday, and it's called Let's Just Talk. And we appreciate everybody that gave a super chat, super cat. Not many of you did, but either way, I'm still gonna give you a freebie. Bam, the spread cat. He's doing time with this chain, but look at that spread, man.
It does look fire.
Man, I could have a bowl of that right now. So.
No, it's just the cell doors closing.
So, all right, guys, but God bless you guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate each and every one of you every single Tuesday. We're sorry we're late today. It was Tino's fault this time, but usually it's Angel's fault.
It usually is.
I don't know what these guys are talking about.
So, anyways, God bless you guys, and see you for Bible study Wednesday night, tomorrow night, and then Sunday service. And the following week is going to be Holy Week, and we're excited about that too. So, God bless.
Peace.